Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the realm of bizarre news. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl, and we start off with a new report of a Yeti creature in Bhutan in the Himalayas. British artist Pollyanna Pickering recently visited a monastery in northern Bhutan where a priest showed her a sacred relic on a pole. It was a scalp of a Migoi, their version of the Yeti. Reddish-brown fur with bones in it, much larger than any scalp of a human or ape. Unfortunately, she was not allowed to photograph it, but she did interview a number of the locals who claim they've regularly encountered the Migoi. They describe it as an entity that's about 7 to 8 feet tall, reddish-brown or blackish fur, 350 pounds in weight, and generally shy. This congrues with reports of other such creatures around the globe. Now, for skeptics, I point out that back in 1938, off the coast of Madagascar, the coelacanth, a fossil fish believed extinct for over 1 million years, a fish that predated the dinos, was found. And this is in the guppy. Large fish, about 100 pounds, 5 to 6 feet in length, that should have been seen, and yet it found an ecological niche to hide in. Certainly the Migoi and its cousins may have also found such ecological niches. Should point out that back in 2005, for the show A Current Affair, I flew up to northern Manitoba to hunt for Bigfoot based on a bargeman's video of such a creature actually emerging from hibernation in the spring. While we did not find the creature, we found a great deal of secondary evidence suggesting that it may indeed exist. And in flying up from Winnipeg to northern Manitoba, I was most impressed with the forestation on the left, the right, north, east, south. In every direction, there is so much forestation you could have had 100 Bigfoot creatures concealed therein. And for the best Yeti film, I commend to you 1957's The Abominable Snowmen of the Himalayas, starring Peter Cushing and Forrest Tucker. Now for the trivia question of the day, let me extricate here from this paper prison. The question: what is the term for a contingent of snails? Multiple choice, inverse alphabetical order. Is that a wobble, wedge, walk, or wake? Now the prize, the only prize for the correct answer, one pat on the back that you'll have to administer to yourself. Heck of a lot better than a slap on the belly with a wet trout. Now recently I told you about the case of a chap in China who adopted a snail as a pet. Well, now we have a negative snail story. In Stuttgart, Germany, on the B14 highway, snails caused 6 cars to crash. Hundreds were migrating across the road, and no, the drivers weren't swerving to avoid them, they couldn't see them. Rather, so many snails were squished that they made the highway slimy like ice, causing those accidents. Naughty snails. Now for the trivia question. Again, what is a contingent of snails? Is that a wobble, wedge, walk, or wake? You say wobble? No, it's a walk. For the record, you have a wobble of ostriches, wedge of swans, and wake of vultures. Yes. Now here is the controversial singer, Amy Winehouse. She's reported that she's being menaced by a hostile ghost in her London flat who's scratching her on the arms. She's named it Henry, believing it's the ghost of a child who died in that flat. Indeed, she's moved to a hotel and is going to have the flat exorcised by a ghostbuster. Yes. Now for the vault of strange deaths. See what we have here. It says true love. This pertains to a chap in Taiwan whose girlfriend took sleeping pills, committed suicide. He was so distraught that he actually broke into the mortuary and then entered the frozen compartment where her body was being kept. Remained there for over an hour before he was discovered. Almost died. He survived, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tries suicide again, because this is truly a case of true love. Yes. Now until next time, may the power of the cosmos be with you. Yes, yes, yes. I heard that. You said that wasn't a scalp, but a coffee filter? You're absolutely right. Darn.